Not sure how well this is going to show up right now, but I need to adjust the headlights on my Dodge D100 shop truck project. So my Dodge D100 shop truck project, I don't think I've ever actually driven it at night. I remember having the headlights on one time, and I remember that it looked like they were kind of out of alignment. So in the last video, I installed some LED bulbs. So now I figured, let's just go ahead and get the alignment done. I've got a kind of janky setup here. So right now my truck is outside. It's 25 feet from my workbench. And then I took some sawhorses, put some brown tape on there, and that blue tape line, or brown paper, that blue tape line is even with the center of the headlight. The top of the blue tape is even with the center of the headlight. I know it looks really low. My driveway is sloped. So the truck is down the driveway a little bit. I've got the back of the truck jacked up to get it level. So kind of a janky setup. Let me kind of show you what's going on. So like I said, here's the truck. All right, so it's outside. You can see I've got the back jacked way up. I threw a level on it, made sure it was level. All right, then what I did was took a laser level here, shot it across. There you can see the spot of the laser level. Oop, I was blocking it right there. And then I measured from that point up to the center of the headlight. I took that measurement. I came over here, measured up from the floor, up to right there. And then I kind of eyeballed the center of the truck based on the center line of my garage. I measured over from the center line to the center of the truck. Marked me a center line several times, had to move things around. And then I measured from the center point to each headlight. And I put those measurements right there. So that is the setup. So I know that looks really low, but that blue tape line is the same height as the center of the headlights. Still a little bright out here. So I'm going to drop the garage door and see if we can do some sort of adjustment. We may have to wait for it to get a little bit darker. All right, so I got the garage door closed enough that the light will still shine inside, and it's shining up on the paper. So to adjust these headlights, it's actually pretty simple. On each bulb, there are two adjustment screws, one for kind of tilting the light up and down, and the other one for tilting it left to right. So on these, right up in there at the top is the one adjustment screw, and the other one for left to right is right here. Now, what we want to do is we're going to try to adjust these so that the light will be kind of 2 inches below the top of the tape in low beam. We want that center of that beam to be kind of like 2 inches below and as close to center. Now, the driver's side, they say you should point in a little bit just so you're not blinding anybody for like oncoming traffic. But we're gonna start messing with those adjustment screws to try to get these dialed in. And then when you turn the high beams on, the center of that high beam should be pretty much even with the top of the line, at that center line of the bulb. These LED bulbs, they're definitely more of a concentric circle. Unlike some bulbs have like a real definitive line almost. These so far don't really look like they have that. Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty consistent, just light. But we'll play with the adjustment screws and see if we can get them dialed in a little bit better. So like I said, it might still be a little too bright out here, but if I run my hand across the light, I can see where the shadow kind of transitions inside there. So I think I need to come, I need to come down a little bit. I think they're still a little too high. So we'll go bring the screw out. You can watch, it'll bring you can't see it, but I can see it. It'll allow the bulb to tilt out at the top, lowering the beam. It's actually not too bad. It's pretty close from what I can see. I'm not really seeing any adjustment of the light inside. One, it's still a little too bright out here. And second, like I said, there's no like definitive line. So it's kind of hard to see. Let me check this side. Okay. Yeah, these look a little low on this side, I think, which is fine for the driver's side. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Yeah, like I say, it's just a matter of just playing with these settings. I guess I'm gonna have to wait really until it's a little bit darker. We'll come back when it's a little bit darker. Well, I can tell you one thing. I have a camera on the front of the truck, and I'll show you the shot of turning the headlights on, the facing in the garage. These things are bright. I don't even have the high beams on yet. You can see a flash right there. Jeez. Okay. I think I'm gonna like these. Man, all right, yeah. I think they need to go up a little bit, actually. We'll see once I get to a better spot. Because I'm not looking too far down the road right now. I think I have them too far down, actually. Like I said, I have a camera on the front of the truck, so we can see what it looks like out the front. But they are bright. I'll give them that. Man. Why am I going lean? So they're not bad. I just think they need to go up a little bit. Let's see. High beams. Wow. All right. Oops, sorry. They're looking pretty far down the road, though, even with high beams on. I did bring a screwdriver with me so that I can make some adjustments on the fly if need be. I can jump out and make some adjustments, but high beams look way down the road. They're pretty well centered, it looks like. Let's jump on the highway and see what they look like on the highway with no surface lights, no street lights. Real dark out here yet. There's still a little bit of sun on the horizon. Not much. Turn around here at the Indian Reservation. Overall, look at that. High beams. Man, they're bright. Definitely a lot better than incandescent. The beam pattern looks pretty even as far as how far out they're projecting. Yeah, they look even. I asshole behind me's got his high beams on. They do appear to be fairly well adjusted. There you go, guys. So got home last night, put the truck away, never recorded an outro. So hopefully, as you could see, especially when when I closed the garage door and you could see the beam pattern on the garage door, even though I was right up against it for the most part, the beams looked really level. Probably could have adjusted it maybe a little bit. And then, driving, you could see now I had my little 4K cam, this little guy right here, which I just did a video on. I had this on a magnet on the front of the grill of the truck, and that's what recorded all of the shots driving down the highway where you can see the light pattern. It didn't look as segmented to me as it did on camera, where you could see like different beams almost, it looked like. These LED bulbs, they're in the bulb. The light itself is vertical inside the bulb, so they kind of have you see it like a little disbursement of the pattern. It didn't look as defined in person as it did on camera. They actually look really good. And the high beams, you can really see the beam going down the road. Look pretty close to the way it did on camera, but they're pretty well aligned. I think maybe they need to come up just a hair. Trying to do it here in the garage, obviously it wasn't fully dark out yet, and the beam pattern wasn't as noticeable here, like I said, as it was, as you can see it on the garage door. But aligning these headlights is really, really simple. All headlights, from my experience, are all pretty much the same. They usually have a couple of adjustment screws somewhere in the mounting that kind of gives you the ability to, raise them up and down and to kind of aim them left to right. Really appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you on the next one.